and welcome to Life in the Mind, a neurodivergent podcast presented by neurodivergent people. I'm Joy Amy Wigman.
And I'm Murray Spear.
And today in the studio we have for the second time the lovely Verity White.
Don't call me lovely.
You're lovely to me.
Oh, thank you.
So this week is one of our topic episodes. So we pick a topic and see how it relates to neurodivergent. And this week we're going to have a little chat about the inverted commas normal job, whether that is
grown-up work,
working in an office or in retail, or just one of those kind of 9 to 5-y kind of things.
Dolly Parton all the way,
and how that works with our neurodivergences
or not,
or how it doesn't, because I think there is a big kind of stereotype, particularly around autism, of that detail-oriented, actually you're the ideal worker, you love routine, you're good at maths, you do spreadsheets.
Oh yeah, certain places are actually actively working out that autistic people in particular are really good for their particular types of work, and actively seeking them. This is fascinating.
And I'm not saying I'm not detail-oriented, it's just that it's a very specific type of detail.
It's a different detail, darling.
I have like an obsession with not spoken but written grammar, and which makes me a great copy editor, which is one of the jobs that I do, but it does mean that I feel like I want to die if I put something up on social media and I've got like a typo in there. Genuinely, it's like the worst thing that's ever happened.
Whereas my social media is littered with typos, and I don't like typos or grammatical errors. It's just my brain is so quick and so fast that I go, get it out, and then I'm like, nah, well, people have liked it now. Yeah, that I said 5 words that don't make sense, and but it's fine. It's fine.
That's what I meant. So has anyone here had like positive experiences of the normal job?
I've had a mixed bag of experiences of normal jobs.
Different types of jobs. So you worked as a singer, a project manager. You've done all kinds of stuff. You've done lots of creative stuff as well as the normal jobby stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually going back to freelancing now because I've been doing normal jobby stuff for the last 3 or 4 years, and it's nearly killed me. So
right.
It's not been the best. And I think what's quite interesting is it's only been recently that I've known about my diagnosis, so I've been able to talk about it openly to employers. But what I've realised is even with adjustments and even with people trying to make things easier for you by offering you, I don't know, noise cancelling headphones or whatever, it's not enough for me to feel comfortable in an office environment because I don't fit in an office environment. And that's something that I'm coming to terms with. I also don't want to be involved in all of the crappy politics and all of the everything and having to pretend to be a different person 9 to 5 every single day and losing track of myself because I'm trying so hard to be that person that I sort of become that person, and then I can't snap out of being that person, and then who am I? And there's a whole like thing going around in my brain trying to work out who the hell I am anymore. So I think it's hard because although I do like what I do as a grown-up job, I struggle to fit in the environment of a grown-up job. So I've fast discovered that actually being freelance, meaning I can control my own time, my own workload, have time off when I am having bad patches. So I'm not thinking, I've only got 20 days holiday that I'm allowed to take this year. I go, well, I've not got any work at the moment, I'm not feeling great, I'll just have 2 weeks to myself, and no one's going to be phoning or judging that or anything else. So knowing my own body and my own mind better now means that I'm able to make a more intelligent decision on that. I mean, I'd love to do creative stuff all the time, but I don't know, I kind of just feel I'm too old to change that now.
No, never ever.
One of the most famous sort of modern artist, I cannot remember his name, but he was down St. Ives. He used to be a sailor or something like that, fisherman.
Is that Howard Hodgkin?
I think it might be.
He was one of the St. Ives school painters.
Yeah, like one of the first ones.
I love
but
that
basically
stuff.
He was
Patrick Heron as well.
His wife died, and he took up painting when his wife died. He was 75 or something like that.
That's so awesome.
That's a random number picked out of the blue. I
Love
will
it,
just
though.
say that. But like he was elderly, especially for that time. and he took up painting and is now massively celebrated.
That's
So
amazing.
you're never
Okay,
too old.
so that's that. You just kiboshed that idea. So
I'm gonna
I'm just
put
going to
that
stop.
one.
Like, I'm going to quit everything. I'm just
No,
going to become a
just
painting recluse somewhere. No, I like people. I'm talking too much.
I want to know, why so many meetings?
Oh.
Why are they so long? And why do we have to pretend that we care? Because we know that everybody cares a little bit in terms of like, oh yeah, that would be good. That would be cool.
But this 2-hour meeting could be a well-worded email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like a literal 5-minute chat. Get everyone in, be like, hey, I was thinking we'll do this. Let's do this.
And why does everyone leave everything to the last minute to tell you about it and then make it your problem when they could have told you 3 months ago and you could have helped them sort it?
Yeah.
The
just
proper system of
doesn't make any
leadership, someone
sense.
making the decisions and then telling you what is
Yeah.
going to be done, instead of going, right, we're going to have a meeting about this. I've already decided what we're doing.
Yeah.
But this meeting's to cover up the pretense, we have to tick it off. I know what we're doing. So I'm going to pretend like I'm going to take all your views into consideration. But then when you were saying that about meetings, it's like, actually, for me, that really appeals. Of like, oh, cool, I know all the like minutiae of this and the context and the details of it and exactly why this is happening. Because then my later decisions can be informed more by having a greater picture of it. And I have this constant battle between like, I really want to do spontaneous stuff and go on like follow my passions and also just get trapped too much by like doing the same thing every day. But at the same time, I really love having a routine and knowing the parameters of what I'm working within, what I'm working with, and be able to dial into that and just go, oh, cool, I can make decisions completely informed as to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then my brain's just going, I don't know how to work.
I mean, I've learned not very recently that I need to take a sketchbook with me into every single meeting that I go into, because as nodding knowingly with a sketchbook out in front of him, but it's I need that. If my mind is trailing off and I'm not paying attention, I need something to. And if I'm fiddling around with my hand and I'm drawing, they could be anything. They may be figurative. They might not be. They might just be random stuff. But it does actually help me try and concentrate on stuff.
And people don't understand that all that fiddling and it looking like we're not paying attention is how we pay attention.
Exactly. But I've had work send me on. I had a hideous experience about 18 months, 2 years ago, where they sent me on this training course. Now, it's a very expensive, very good, very well-known training course. I think it was about $3,000 for a few days worth of training in advanced negotiation skills. Now, really, really good for what I do, and great content, but they didn't make any adjustments at all for me. And I was expected to do 2 10-hour days of training, paying attention all the way through, with role plays, which I love showing off, so it's fine. But obviously, once I get to a point of my energy levels being depleted, I then don't want to talk to anyone or do anything. So I was so tired after those 2 days that I just crashed completely. And then the next day, I got my line manager brought up with me that my attitude was not good enough and what was going on with me, and people were all really worried about me because I seemed really depressed. And I was like, I told you I wasn't going to cope with 2 10-hour days. Yet you did it anyway because you said, and I did want to do the training, but I didn't want to do it over 2 10-hour days. But they wouldn't change it because normal people, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know. So they were absolutely fine with it, thriving on it, thought it was great. And I was like, it is interesting, but I can't pay attention for that long. I literally can't pay attention for that long.
Or they said they were thriving on it. And then loads of them had a mental breakdown.
That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back in that job. Because I brought it up with them. They knew that I was neurodiverse. I brought up about the ADHD. I specifically said, I'm going to struggle with this. Can I make adjustments? I phoned the training company and I said, I'm going to struggle with this. Can we change no, that's the program. You've got to do it.
That's crazy for like $3,000 as well to make no adjustments.
I basically had to do it. And it was useful, but actually...
Did they have like enforced social stuff in the evenings as well?
Yeah. And they're like,
Why?
Yeah. I should just like shovel my food down as quickly as possible, then go and collapse and not talk to anybody. Yeah. But it's just, it's the lack of understanding, I think, that's just so prevalent in a, you know, hashtag normal work environment or whatever you want to call it, that they just don't get that our brains are wired differently, that our schedules of when we can and can't do stuff are different, that our energy levels are so different, that, you know, processing information, it goes in differently, it sits differently. We need to be stimulated in other ways for stuff to go in. If you give me a long thing of text to memorize and then you ask me questions on it, I'm not going to remember it. But if you talk to me about something, or there's lots of bright colors and other stimulus going on, I'll remember it more likely, and I'll be able to tell you about it. So there just aren't those changes. Those changes are not made. I think it's the same in education. You know,
I
think work is just school. Really, work is school.
Yeah, it is. It just follows on from it, and you do just
more of the same crap
into the same ideas.
Yeah, the same bullies, they're still there. Don't get any better,
same
guys.
Power complexes.
The same open plan environment.
Oh my
we're
God!
Expected to listen to one thing when there are like
not get to sit
60
in the
other
same
people.
place.
And
I hate it.
Hot desking.
I
Oh
hate
no!
hot desking.
Everywhere is hot desks. Everywhere.
Yeah.
The amount of times I have
So
had to go and
stupid
hide
as
in the toilet for like half an hour to cry and decompress is actually ridiculous. And I'm literally not in my past, like literally only a month ago was the last time I was hiding in the toilet crying at work because I couldn't cope.
Yeah.
And it's there's so many things where it feels like it's a short-term solution to something that's actually a deeper problem, because
it's so derogatory having to do something like that.
Yeah. And a lot of these things speak to a lack of understanding of the individual nuances of just being in general. Every different human being has their own unique way of dealing with the world. They can be subtly unique, you can have more of a catch-all things that are more likely to be managed, but we have such a problem these days we have so many people who are going through mental health problems, who have got to be on various meds or seeing therapists, who aren't able to keep going work because of stress.
Yeah.
And we have so many people realising they're neurodivergent alongside that. And all of these things are individual nuance of being interacting with something that's been standardised to what
to the lowest common denominator.
Well, it's not the lowest common denominator.
It's just the common.
It's the deciding factor at that time, which is why the consistency
the
of the logic doesn't necessarily work.
No, the logic
it can
doesn't
often
work.
be an ancient government that existed in a very, very different cultural time.
Like Victorian workhouses, which is how most workplaces feel.
It works like this because the poor will always behave like this because of how their skulls are shaped.
Exactly. And Verity, don't show emotion in the office. Don't show emotion in the office. Why are you crying? Pull yourself together, Verity. Go and sit in the toilet for half an hour. It's like, I can't help the fact I have emotions. I have way too many emotions for one person. They're just going to come out.
Like they're the simplest little adjustments. Like I know that I work better and I have it at home. If on my desk I've got these little things that make me happy, like this little unicorn or like a little flower pot, and those are the things that like make me feel safe. And
you need
sorted,
a safe space,
and I need a safe space. So things like hot desking, or at one of my previous employers, it was a clear desk policy. So you couldn't have any of those things. And it's like, I can't work like this, and I can't express to you how important it is to have like a unicorn shaped rubber on my desk. Like that will literally make the difference between me being able to work from this time to this time and me freaking out about something because I haven't got my thing that comforts me. And I understand that that's difficult for you to understand, but if I'm making adjustments to my life to fit in with what you think is okay, why are you not doing that for me?
I think that's it. I think the adjustments that you get offered in a standard workplace are, they do what they can, I guess, within the realms of financial constraints and stuff like that. But, I am lucky enough that through Department for Work and Pensions, so through them and their support, I have had an ADHD coach paid for. And that has been absolutely life-changing. She has been just a dream. I'm still working with her now. She's fantastic. And that has been through me getting the grant, obviously DWP. So I'm allowed, or have been allowed, time off work to go to the coach to get all of that. And that's been really, really great. But the other things that they offer me are things like, oh, well, we can get you some noise cancelling headphones, and do you want maybe a sit-stand desk because you wiggle around a little bit? And it's just like, well, no, actually, what I'd quite like is not to have to come into the office all the time, and you're understanding that, like, maybe I need a bit more of a flexible regime, and actually the people not to look down on me if I have a random emotional outburst, and somewhere space, like, if you want me in the office half of my time, I need somewhere safe that I can work, where people aren't going to be weird. And it's really hard to try and put into words actually why it doesn't work for me, but I have very much come to the conclusion that I don't think I can be employed by other people. I am now talking myself out of literally any future jobs here. So I find it much easier to be self-employed.
To neurodivergent.
I find
come on, employers. If you want Verity, adapt to neurodivergent.
I think I don't get, when I've come up with something that will fix people's problems, why other people don't see that that's how it's going to fix their problems. And I don't get, and I don't understand other people's politics as to why they don't want to change, because they've got their little empires that they've grown here, there and everywhere, and they don't want to change because it means that they might lose one member of staff or something, when you can actually see that logically this is the best thing to do, and it's going to save everybody time and money, etc., etc. And it just does my head in. So yeah, stop ranting now.
No, ranting is good.
No, it's really, because it's being impassioned about, because we care about it.
Yeah.
It does. It affects all of our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on benefits for both unemployment-ness, what's the low income? That's the word, and disability, and even just that stigma around that is such a thing.
Yeah.
And the processes are so alienating and inhuman, especially for like PIP, where you have
I've
to
read
prove.
quite a lot about PIP and how absolutely dreadful it is.
Really
that
hard.
so many cases are going to tribunal now. They just turn people down from the
That's
offset.
what they do.
There's so many things that
they turn you down, and then if you've got, if you like fight against it, then you might get it, and that's like the system that they've developed.
Yeah,
that
it's
is so
actually
wrong.
Everyone
that way
down.
of
That's
doing it.
guilty until proven innocent.
It is, because
Absolutely.
that's what it's people will. The only reason people would
And
choose
these
not to work will be because they're choosing
But
not
these
to
like
work.
people that are
They
going
will
for
have a choice
PIP
about it.
are in a place where they perhaps don't have the
Oh,
energy
no, of
to
course
fight
they're
that.
not. They're
No.
people that are going to they're just trying to school their system.
Crikey.
And even as I'm saying this now, and aware that this is recorded, I've got a voice in my head saying, could this impact
Could you
impact
de-pip? Could it de-pip
my
you?
benefits?
Could
We don't want you to be
Because I'm-
de-pipped.
And it's
Yeah,
all
we
of,
need a
but it's all of those things, isn't it? But actually, that's an important thing, because actually that shows the strength of it, and actually it's a really real worry every single day. And so that's why work is such a big thing. Why we care about it so much, because we're a very capitalistic society, for good or ill,
Yeah.
and that is the be all and end all. Money, what we make, what we gain. We need money to live. We need purpose in our life. We need to be able to get up in the morning and know we're going to do something. And if we can't do that for whatever reason, whether that's us not being able to work in a certain way, or even not understanding what the nuance of that certain way is, that's hard.
It can be really
That's
difficult,
really
and it
difficult.
affects your relationship with yourself and your self-worth.
Oh,
One of the things
so
that I've
much.
struggled with so much is like my self-worth associated to money, monetary gain and work and job gain, and what my job title is. And I have felt so much that I've got to prove to other people that I'm a good person and I'm a functioning member of society, and that I'm good at what I do, and that I'm clever, and that I'm this. All of my life I've beaten myself up about not being good enough. Like that's like literally, it's like cut me open, and that is in my core. You are not good enough. And so I've fought and pushed myself to the point of, this year I experienced burnout. I'm going to cry. Sorry about that.
That's
Emotions,
fine.
like I
No,
said, very
please
close to the
do,
service.
yeah.
But I've experienced burnout, and I've been really sick. And I don't ever want to be there again.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't, if there's anyone listening, if anyone knows anybody that pushes themselves like that because they have neurodiversities, help them.
Yeah, just reach out and just there's a big thing of what you're worth has changed from what you're worth in life. What your uniqueness,
existential
your
crisis.
unique being can bring to the world is something only you can ever bring.
Yes.
You are the only person who will ever be able to offer you.
And yet,
And
when
yet,
we do things, the first the first question we get asked is, "Oh, is it paid?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you worth in a monetary sense?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing some singing on. I've got a singing gig next month. Oh, is it paid?
When you meet someone for the first time, what do you do?
What do you do? What's your job?
What does it matter? Isn't it like, what are my values as a person? Like,
What defines your entire being?
What's your favourite cheese? You know, I don't know. Like, ask me something different. Don't ask me what I do, because like, I don't want to define myself by my grown-up job, but also like, I don't even know who I am. So like, what do I do is a really awkward question.
Yeah.
I love that we keep calling it a grown-up job.
Yeah.
I have to,
Grown-up
but
job.
because I think Jeremy's alluded to the fact that I have got quite a number of strings to my bow, because I've always earned money from a grown-up job, but then done lots of other jobs on the side, like singing and
It's like each
art and
muggle
stuff.
job.
Yeah,
It's
so
all
I have all of my
things.
creative jobs, which all end up being accidental businesses, and then I have my grown-up job as well. And what I would love is for one of my like creative things to get to a point where I didn't have to do a grown-up job, but being the main breadwinner, it kind of means that a grown-up job is always something I have to have in the background, which is why this whole pivot to freelancing, self-employed, to be able to manage my own, you know, life a bit better and hopefully lower the stress levels a little bit,
But I
is
found
where
that
I'm at.
with a lot of neurodivergent people that I know, what they have done is there wasn't a space for them, so they have carved out a space for themselves.
Yeah.
And I originally did it because of fibromyalgia, because I was diagnosed with that a long time ago. But like the reasonable adjustments were not there for that.
No.
And a lot of my symptoms, I'm now discovering, they overlap with autism symptoms.
Yeah.
Which would be another reason why it wouldn't have got caught until I was a lot later. But those adjustments weren't being met, and so I had to carve a space for myself, and that means that us neurodivergents end up dealing with the gig economy, which is hard enough in itself. We don't have that routine or stability, which a lot of neurodivergents crave, and it just compounds the problem. Whereas if you are genuinely an accessible. I've made a new word.
Oh, I love it.
An accessible employer, then that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be happening.
No.
And you can't go with a one box fits all situation, because we're all so different. We've got a lot of stuff in common, which we talk about a lot on the podcast, but we're also all very different and manifest in very different ways.
Yeah.
And it's a really good point, isn't it? That we all have our own ways of doing stuff. One of the most common things whenever we're in one of my other jobs, when I'm doing training for like people, and people are talking about adaptations in the workplace, like, oh, but what's an adaptation that I can make to include everyone? Like,
you can never include
yeah,
everyone.
like just
Never.
for like autistic people, I'm like, the best thing you can do is ask the person, talk to the person, and then see what you can do. Because often it's really simple stuff, like we were alluding to earlier, like allow a unicorn rubber on their desk, allow them to work from home,
have safe spaces. One of the things that I keep banging on about to employers is have a safe space where people with neurodiversities can go and work in the way that fits them. Have somewhere where it's okay for your emotions to overspill, and you're not going to have weird people take you to one side to say, "Are you all right? You need to pull yourself together. You can't let your team see you being like that." You need to have a space where it's okay just to be, because otherwise you are masking the entire time that you're in the office, and it is exhausting.
So exhausting.
It's dangerous, and it's detrimental to your work
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
So actually,
you're like,
doesn't
what do you want my
benefit
being
us.
today? Hello,
Yeah.
good
And
day.
You will actually get the best out of your employees if you work for them in a way. If you work out what works for them, and you are invested in them, as they will then be more invested in their work, they will then be able to do their work better. And you won't be perceiving or alluding to things where they've just not been able to cope because of ridiculous things put on
Arbitrary
them
crap.
as
Yeah.
failures. They've succeeded. They've succeeded in a different way. And what
Hey, can I
strengths?
move away from the desk that's right by the air conditioning unit?
Oh,
That's what I can do all day.
Oh my
aircon.
God.
Bloody aircon.
I hate aircon. No. I mean, I'm always cold anyway. But
So like giving one person like that desk is that person's desk because they just like a constant desk. Everyone else can hot desk because they don't mind.
I like to have
What
my
happened
desk. I
with
like
the
to have my space.
Yeah, just like to sit in the same place so that I know
But depending
where
on
it is.
depending on what day, like what kind of a day I'm having, some days I might love being in an open plan office because I am on a distractibility day, and a distractibility hyper day means I'm going to talk to everybody and like go around and everyone's going for coffee, and I don't get any work done at all. So why do you want me in the office again? Because I'm either a butterfly or I don't know, like a dead badger on the side of the road, like wallowing in its own filth. So yeah, neither are great. I mean, the butterfly's probably better, I'd say. But, you
This
know.
image of this undead badger just being
Zombie
like
badger.
wiggly bubble. I don't know.
Oh, you want to
Weird.
know about procurement legislation? All right, well, let me just wheel my eyes back in. Hang on, here we are. All right.
I feel like that's a soundbite. And on that bombshell, that it's been absolutely wonderful to talk to you again, Verity.
Yeah.
Always so lush to have you in with us. So I would say maybe the takeaway from this is, if you're an employer, treat your employees like individuals rather than trying to include everyone at once, because that just doesn't work.
And you will benefit.
You will benefit. And if anyone's got any stories, positive or negative, about being in a bunny ears normal job with the neurodivergence, just pop a comment in or drop us a line. And yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, folks, that's it for this episode. Find us on Instagram at life.inthemind. Our other socials are linked in the bio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.